And at the third bank, the teller, she kept my license a little longer than the other banks. So I already felt like something was up, and she had already alerted the police by clicking the little button under their desk. And so,
hello dear friends, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to this channel. I'm not going to talk your heads off. Let's get started on today's reaction video.
all right, story time of why I went to jail. It was actually prison, but I was 18 years old, and my sister actually came to me with a proposition, and she was like, hey, I have some people that are having a difficult time bringing money in from another country. I don't know why the red flags didn't go up, but I was also young and very naive. So when she told me that all I had to do was open up a bank account, I was like, that's it? That's easy. That's simple. It's gonna be my name, my bank account. So I did, and I gave them the login to the online account, and it was a brand new account, so it's not like I had money in there or anything like that. Plus I was 18. I didn't have anything to begin with but some debt. So they deposited $40,000 into my Bank of America account, and so then they were gonna pick us up the next day to drive to the bank, and they were gonna escort me to take the money out and then give me my cut, and then they keep theirs. I went to the first bank. I took out a little under $10,000. It was fine. I went to the second bank. I took out, I think it was like $8,000. And at the third bank, the teller, she kept my license a little longer than the other banks. So I already felt like something was up, and she had already alerted the police by clicking the little button under their desk. And so, like, before I knew it, the bank was like surrounded with cops, and I was automatically arrested from the inside of the bank. And when I went outside of the bank, I was like looking around for the people that we came with to go to the bank to withdraw the money, and they were gone. They were gone. They left me there. I was 18 years old, and I'm 2 hours away from my house. And yeah, I was interrogated for like 6 hours. I didn't have the money in my purse from the previous banks, and there was no vehicle that belonged to me outside of the bank. So they already knew that somebody had brought me there. And so while I was being interrogated, they told me that this was a ring that had been going on, and they were trying to catch the perp, and they knew that I wasn't the mastermind. And yeah, and I didn't know their names. I didn't say anything. So I went to jail that night, and I spent the next 7 days in jail because I didn't have my phone. They confiscated it, and I wasn't able to get anybody's number out of it, and I didn't remember anybody's number. And on the 7th day, it's pretty crazy because I actually bunked rooms with a pastor's wife, and she prayed for me, and she told me that on the 7th day that I was going to get released. And on the 7th day, my name was called. Somebody was bonding me out, and I was like, there's no way. I'm like, they got the wrong name, because I didn't call nobody to bond me out, and I didn't know anybody that was going to pay $20,000 to get me out of jail. So the people, those guys, they bonded me out, and I had to hitchhike home like for part 2.
First of all, not your sister setting you up for the okie doke, a whole scam. What? That lost me right there when she said her sister talked her into doing this, or asked her did she want a part of it.
Okay, so this is part 2, and apparently everyone is so interested in what the pastor's wife did. She was such an angel. It was something like with her registration or her tag, it was something so minor. They didn't have to take that lady to jail for that shit. But anyways, I was able to hitch a ride from, oh, and side note, I believe she was there for me. Like, I was crying uncontrollably. I didn't know where I was. she was put there for me. God knows what he does. And I swear, she was there to calm my soul and to calm my nerves. She would pray with me every single day. And she told me, she's like, baby, you're going home on the 7th day. Okay? So, and this is why I so strongly believe in God, and I believe that he don't play about me. But anyways, I was able to hitch a ride from the prison, or from the jail, I'm sorry, from the jail to about 30 minutes away from where I lived. And so I ended up at like a gas station, and I did know my sister's number. I just didn't want to call her from the jail because, you know, she was involved as well. But anyways, for everybody saying that my sister is dirty for bringing that situation to me, I do believe she knew more than what she was telling me. However, she also had created an account, and she also was pulling money out of the bank. But
to me, she was still dirty. She knew it was illegal. She knew that it wasn't supposed to happen, and bringing you in it was dirty, but to each his own.
I was first, and ironically, I got in trouble first.
Ironically, she used you as a guinea pig, and you didn't realize it.
However, they never noticed that she had the account like also, and she never went to jail for this. And when she went back to Miami, her accounts were never frozen, and she blew all that money. So I did get upset with her because she didn't say, here, let me help you pay for your attorney. She was just like, F you, I'm going on a shopping spree. And that's what she did. So anyways, I called her when I got to the gas station. I'm like, hey, I need somebody to pick me up and take me home. She didn't have a car. So she sends the guys that got me into the situation to pick me up. And at first I was like, no, I don't want them to pick me up. But then I was like, well, maybe I'll get some kind of payment. I know I didn't withdraw all the money, but maybe I'll get some kind of payment for the whole situation. And then so they picked me up. They picked me up, and as soon as I get in the car, I get like this eerie feeling. You know, they're like not really talking. You know, when people are acting weird and you pick up on it, that's exactly how they were acting. And then they were like looking at each other, and then one of them gets a call. He answers the call, and all I hear him say is, yeah, we have her. She's with us. Sir, I am not a package. So I was like, I have to pee. And he was like, oh, we're almost there. It didn't seem like we were almost anywhere to me. So I was like, well, I have to pee really bad. They just stayed quiet. We get to a red light. I attempt to open the door. This door has child safety lock on it. Honey, the way I panicked, I was like, oh my God, I have to pee, and I'm gonna go right now in your chair because I've been holding it for like 2 hours already. And then they finally give in and they pull over to the gas station. We pull over to the gas station, and as soon as they stop, I go right in and I go right to the register person, and I'm like, hey, I need to borrow your phone. As soon as they seen that man pass me the phone, they leave the gas station so fast, and they leave me there, and I'm stranded yet again. What he meant by we're almost there was that the main guy had my money, supposedly, and he wanted to see me, to pay me. However, I believe that I was going to be silenced, and I wholeheartedly believe it to this day. Like for part 3. So remember how I had to give them my information, my login to my bank account online? Well, they had all my information to where I lived, my date of birth, everything. So I was a little afraid. So I ended up staying at my grandparents' house for like a week, but then I got scared because I didn't want to bring danger to my grandparents' home either. And I had a daughter at the time. She was 2.5 years old. So I was trying to protect her as well. And so I ended up going to stay at my friend's house that lived in the same apartment complex, actually right across my apartment door. So to, you know, protect my kid and protect my grandparents, you know, so I won't bring trouble over there, and so that they don't question me like, what's going on? Why are you not staying at your apartment? I was afraid. So then every day I would bring like a couple things from my apartment to her apartment, and eventually I was trying to empty out my apartment. And then one night we're like talking at the dining room table, and we hear a knock on my apartment door, and we look out the peephole, and guess who it is? One of those guys that was in the car. And they didn't tell me they were coming, they didn't call me, they didn't text me, they didn't advise me of anything. And just looking at the peephole and the way he kept looking like around like this, I knew why he was there. So after that knock on that door that night by that guy, I realized how serious the situation really was. So I had a boyfriend, and it wasn't the father of my daughter, but it was a pretty serious relationship. But the night that I went out with my sister, or the day that I went out with my sister to go do this crap with the bank, I didn't tell my boyfriend what I was doing. I just told him that I was gonna go out with my sister. And so I actually came clean, and I told him, hey, the day I went out with my sister, this and this happened, and now these guys are looking for me. And he was devastated, but he was like, you know what, we're gonna figure it out together, and we're gonna come up with a plan. I picked up these charges, I want to say like in June, July-ish. I was 18, so I can't quite remember the exact month, and I'm gonna be 35 years old now. But like 2 months later, in August, this same said boyfriend had a freaking accident on a four-wheeler, and he passes away. My only hope to like feel some kind of safety, or feel like someone's gonna help me with this situation that I had going on, like totally vanished. But the way God kept intercepting my demise blows my mind, because that day that my boyfriend passed away, riding that four-wheeler, I was supposed to be on the four-wheeler with him, and I couldn't go because I had to go to work. So he passed away. That I'm going through this whole ordeal by myself, and I'm still at my friend's house trying to move my stuff out of the apartment. And life just like spiraled out of control after my boyfriend passed away. You know, I was fighting the case for a whole year, and eventually I got sentenced to a year in the county jail and 4 years probation. And yeah, I feel like by me going away, God protected me from yet another demise. So yes, I did get sent to prison. However, it wasn't necessarily my first offense. I was in trouble as a juvenile, but they don't hold that against you when you're an adult. So yes, technically first offense. However, the charges were pretty hefty charges. I had organized fraud, grand theft. It was a white-collared crime. There was over $1.8 million stolen. There was 55 victims. They put me in this category of being involved with the crime ring. So they basically didn't have proof that I didn't know these men prior, or that I wasn't somehow working in the background of this ring, and then I finally decided to open an account. They couldn't prove that, and since they never found the guys, according to my knowledge, when I was sentenced, they never found them. So basically I was part of that ring, when in fact I was a victim as well myself. But they don't care about that. As long as someone is getting charged and sentenced and going to jail for it, the detectives pat themselves on the back and they say they caught the criminal. And that's exactly what happened to me.
And definitely to me, that sister was dead wrong. Like, you knew that was illegal, but yet you got your sister involved. And not only that, I feel like she's like shielding her sister from the responsibility she should have took in this situation, because she was the first person, not her sister, that came to her and told her about it. She was the first person, meaning her sister wanted her ass to do it first, to see if she go down and get in trouble for it before she decide whether she want to do it, which is crazy. And she was the first person that it was brought to. Like, why would you put your sister Only thing I could think of is a motherfucker gotta be evil to set their sister up for the okie doke, knowing that this is a daggone scam. Like, if they can't do it themselves, why do you want me to do it? That's what I would have been saying. Like, why do you want me to do it? Again, in another situation, you live and you learn, you get older and more wiser, and you know what not to do next time. And this was a lesson learned. She better be happy she got the time she did, because these people stole a lot of money. And until this day, people are still out here scamming banks, trying to get money for it, making false checks, making accounts. And the part where she went wrong is she made the account in her name with her address, all her information. Crazy work. You guys drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. If you are returning, you know how we like to do it. Don't forget, her TikTok will be down in my description. I got journals and planners on Amazon. Go click that link in the description. You guys, I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.